Hello and welcome back into Pokemon Yellow. So in the last episode we went into the Saffron City Pokemart. We've come out of the Viridian City one, and that's just because it's a lot closer to the next direction we're going to go. So I figured I'd just do all that off-screen stuff to get over here, because I did have to swap Bagok back in and back out to get over here without having to run all the way back. So yeah, I just figured I'm not going to add all that in. But what I am going to do is I'm going to fire up the TM for Surf. Now, we have a couple different Pokemon that are capable of learning it, and you know what? Actually, I'm actually going to teach it to Koji, because Headbutt's a little bit of a redundant move, not entirely. But I figure if I have Body Slam and access to Amnesia, that actually would be a huge help. So, yeah, we'll go with that. So, Koji now learned Surf, which means that Nessie is free to not have to learn Surf to get me through my playthrough, and thus I wouldn't have to replace one of Nessie's other moves to put Surf in there. Not that it's a bad move, like it's a very reasonable water type move to use. I'd just rather it learn Hydro Pump just because. So yeah, what we're gonna do is we're gonna come back to Palatown, and we're actually gonna surf south of here. And the one thing I want to point out is that one trainer wanted a Tangela, and this is the area where you can get it. So I believe what they wanted was to trade Tangela for their Paris. So yeah, you'd have to get pretty late game to get Tangela to begin with, so generally that's just an overall bad trade, so don't do it. You're waiting pretty late to do that. You know what? Tentacool, just because. Just gonna wreck its day. There we go. Just get that little bit of experience, but I'm actually gonna use Super Repel because there's a lot of water that we're gonna be crossing, so it's a little bit tough to avoid battles sometimes if you don't have a Super Repel. Water'll be really good here because so much of it is water Pokemon. Okay, so we got Seaking starting off with it, which it's level 28, so I mean that's not much to speak about. Most of my Pokemon are almost level 40 now, so not gonna struggle with a lot of the battles throughout this route. But it's nice that Watt is still at a point where it's still able to one-shot certain battles, because especially with Seaking and Goldeen, they're just, if you let them live, they get supersonic on you, and then the battle becomes annoying. Alrighty, so that's 2 Seaking and a Goldeen, and oh, this guy has 3 Seakings. Duly noted. So yeah, everything is coming together quite nicely. And now that I've determined that Sabrina's largely just the hardest gym leader in Kanto, especially in this version, I'm really not worried about my levels of anything else coming up. I might have to do a little bit coverage for the Elite Four, but maybe not, because even then, like, the champion isn't that big of a deal. So we'll see when we get there. Oh, I hate this trainer. Got 6 Pokemon and they're all Magikarp, so I'll probably just cut these guys out. Okay, and that's 6 fainted Magikarps. That is my least favorite trainer in the entire game. Like, I don't even understand the purpose of that trainer. That is such a dry battle no matter what you do. But we move onwards. I'm trying not to miss more trainers than I need to, because I'm still at a point where I do want to consider all of the all of the experience and like there's still some tough parts coming up. Not hugely threatening, but you still don't want to fall behind too much. And that's Seadra down. I like Seadra. I think Seadra's a really cool Pokemon. I also really like Kingdra as well. Obviously, a little bit more annoying to obtain in Gen 2 than just getting Seadra, but I personally think it's well worth it. Nobody said there was anything wrong with you swimming, unless you're doing something wrong. Oh, it's a cue ball. Okay, well that's weird. Normally you find swimmers swimming. Yeah, Nessie's gonna make pretty quick work of most of what it runs into. It's got a pretty good attack stat, or special stat. Okay. Oh, still has one more. Yeah, this is why I wanted to get Lapras. Lapras is really good. Between its wide move pool and its pretty good stats, like, you can't really go wrong. Especially because it does lean so heavily on the special stat. So, that's definitely a good reason to want to get Lapras. It does suck because it is neutral damage to fire types, but you don't really run into so many that that's a huge problem. And obviously water type is one of the better types, especially in Gen 1. It's kind of bobbing and weaving back and forth. I could have sworn there were more trainers in this area. Oh. I almost missed an entire platform somehow. Okay, and we'll swap out to... Sure, Koji. Why not? So yeah, if everything gets to level 40 by the next... By the time we hit landfall, I'd be happy with that. And it's funny, I gave Surf to Koji. I actually originally intended it to be Nidoking, forgetting that Snorlax does learn Surf. I don't know why I forgot that. But also the fact that it does have access to Amnesia, so it gets a boost to that attack pretty readily. And Koji's bulky enough that using Amnesia is well worth the effort. Oh. Sure, why don't we... Oh, really? Bad confusion. No. And there we go. Surf has a weird animation. I'm not sure what the water spouts are for with that. Surf definitely has a lot better animations beyond Generation 1. Alrighty, let's see what this guy's got. Maybe a Gyarados? That would be fun to see. Oh, Sea King. Something that'll confuse me. Just like everything else in this area. Again, I think I pointed it out in one of the earlier episodes, but I do like a lot of the later generation games. Just because there's such a wide pool of Pokemon to pick from that you get a lot more variance in the battles, and that's a lot more fun rather than running into your 20th Goldeen and all the Zubats and... Oh, Zubat, I will never not be annoyed by you. Okay, so that's another Fisher down. Another massive quality of life update is not having to go into your menu to surf. That's one that I can't wait for on the next playthrough. Okay, what does this guy got? Starmie. Ooh. Don't see Starmie very often. But luckily, Starmie is not the bulkiest Pokemon in the world. And we get the Paralyze. I've been getting a lot of really good Body Slam Paralyze. I will definitely take that all day. I feel like that was the game hearing me when I pointed out that a commenter had made note of the fact that I was getting really good luck, and then it gave me bad luck for a while there. It's like, yeah, we still got to keep it balanced off. I'm gonna switch in Merlin. Kinger and Broiler are not good decisions on this route. If Kinger was still in Nidorino, it'd be fine, but with that ground typing... Also, I really have to look at Kinger's move pool. I've kind of pile-driven it into the ground, but I just haven't been that worried about it. Oh, Poliwhirl I probably wanted to... Oh no, it worked just fine. I thought maybe I would want to be using Psychic because Poliwhirl has a reasonable special stat, so... So does Tentacool, but it's a poison type, so it's super effective. Yeah, double damage. And Seadra. I don't think Seadra's a poison type. I think it's just a water type. But it's special fell. That is highly unfortunate. If I had seen that pop up during the battle with Sabrina, my heart probably would have sunk into my stomach. You're like, oh no, that is the last thing I wanted to see. And you know what, just cuz we'll let Watt finish out the route because, well, as much as I do want to get experience for everybody, I'm not gonna sit there and arbitrarily throw a fire or a ground type at water Pokemon. Especially because we're gonna be coming up on an area that's got wild encounters and more trainers, so it's just gotta be smart about it. I don't know how much of a threat. I mean, this is Staryu, so it could very quickly become a threat to both of them. And if there's Staryu, there's a good chance it's Starmie in the back. Oh, Wartortle. Okay, that probably would have been problematic. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so that's another swimmer taken care of, and we should be seeing the coastline. Yep. No more trainers hidden in the corner? Nope. We are good. So we have now reached Cinnabar. Cinnabar Island specifically. So we do have a couple minutes, so I am going to meet you back out here in a second. I just have to go grab two things real quick. Okay, so now that I've done that real quick, before we end off the episode, I figure we'll do this because it's fun. If you come in here, this is the science lab that was actually being referred to at the beginning of the game. If you come down to the end here, talk to this guy. He's important doctor. I study here rare Pokemon fossils. You, have you fossil for me? It's kind of hard to read out what that person's saying because it's in such broken grammar. But yeah, so we'll start with the Helix fossil. It tells us that it's the fossil of Ammonite, which is pretty cool. So we'll give that to him. It says go for a walk for a little while. Basically, all we're gonna have to do is go out, go back in, and we can go get our Ammonite fossil. I have checked this before. I can't remember what version of the game, and I don't know if it's uniform to all of them. You can't just step outside the room. Where was I? I literally stepped out the door and came back. So I'm not going to give a nickname to the Ammonite, or the other fossil, which is the fossil of Aerodactyl, which Aerodactyl is really cool. I had seriously considered using Aerodactyl, knowing that it was going to be a later addition to the team, which was largely fine with me. But it just, nah. I opted not to, and I was like, I'm just gonna go with Charizard. When I get to the Generation 3 games and I do Fire Red or Leaf Green, there's a good chance I'll use it because Aerodactyl actually gets a very... Oh. We'll just skip past naming it. Aerodactyl does get a very, very nice move in Rockhead, which prevents recoil damage being done to it, and it has access to the move Double Edge, which is fantastic. And also Aerodactyl's really fast, so like if you look, its attack stat is 72, which is not bad at level 30, and it has a massive 90 speed, so it is very fast. So it is pretty cool, but it just, I didn't really see it fitting through this playthrough. So if you want to see Aerodactyl, you're likely going to have to wait until the Gen 3 remakes. Yeah, so yeah, the Gen 3 remakes of Generation 1. So yeah, that's how you deal with the fossils, and we'll just quickly drop them off. And we actually have a little bit of a collection, not much of one. Yeah, there's the other Snorlax that I caught earlier. Eevee, Bulbasaur, Squirtle, all. Yeah, and of course Mew from way back at the beginning. But we're going to grab Merlin and Kinger, and then I think that's where we're going to end off the episode. Oh yeah. There we go. I think that is where we're just going to wind up cutting off the episode. I think that's pretty healthy size of an episode. And when we come back, we're actually going to go check out the Pokemon Mansion. So that'll be very cool. Thank you so much for checking out the video. As always, the support is hugely appreciated. If you did like it, don't forget to drop a like. If you really liked it and want to see the series as it does come out, don't forget to subscribe on your way over to your next video. And until the next one, thank you and all the best.